podcast, everyone. This is RaZon Moore, a young man who is walking a powerful path balancing college, life, military service, and his deep commitment to faith and personal growth. When he's not hitting the books or the gym, he's also a youth church volunteer, recently baptized, and fully embracing a lifestyle shift rooted in purpose and discipline. His story is one of transformation, resilience, staying true to what matters. Everyone, let's welcome RaZon Moore. Oh, we call him Zon. thank you for coming,
Appreciate
my brother.
You,
I had to get you together. You feel me?
Sure,
I had to get you together. So let me just ask you this, bro. Like off rip, I know I have been talking about the podcast for a little minute, and I know I brought it to you, but I've had situations where I'm like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do, and people just flat out tell me like it's not for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, what was the reason you agreed to being on the podcast?
Conversation. Our conversations we had previously with each other, and just the ultimate support because you're my guy. I seen pretty much the vision you were headed towards with the podcast. I mean, you have interesting conversations with solid topics that will keep people awake, and every time we have a conversation, it's dynamic. It's not like stale. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much
that's what thrives for me. Because like this podcast is built off perspective, and I grew to realize other people's perspective influenced a lot of personal growth in my life, and so I thought that it could be influential to the world if I could bring like-minded and people who don't think the same together and say, hey man, we don't have to see eye to eye, you know what I'm saying? But let's have a conversation, let's figure it out.
Right. Or
there's been times where I thought a particular way, and because somebody else had a better or a different ideology that I felt fit me better, I adapted that way of thinking. So I appreciate that, and I'm doing it simply because I'm trying to inspire growth too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over grateful for the fact that you came on here because just chopping it before, man, you just taught me something that I didn't even think of, or I ain't gonna say taught me. You reminded me of something that I have forgotten. You know what I'm saying? And to hear you saying it was kind of like reassurance and the fact that I had to check myself and my own personal growth, man. So that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here for, is to inspire growth in people. And you have been growing a lot, and it's been showing, man. So speaking of growth, like you said, that's one of your personal missions for growth. So when we talk about perspective, right? What was your perspective before you understood that you needed a lifestyle change versus where it is now?
Stubborn. I was very stubborn. Before I started converting into who I want to be, to my main character, I was just living for the moment type of scenario of life. That's the mindset I had, a stubborn mindset, not listening, trying to do everything on my own, not taking accountability, not accepting situations for what they are, just being 100% stubborn in my own fashion. That's how I was.
I feel you, because I'm still like that to an extent. My girlfriend, AJ, of 6 years, she still often has to remind me, you can't do everything by yourself. So I understand that. I'm still growing out of that myself. So I got a couple questions here for you, brother, if you don't mind. We introduced you and we said that you were recently baptized. What was the motivation behind getting baptized, and how do you feel now?
Motivation was I needed to reset. I had self-reflection was the motivation, honestly. I had to do a deep-rooted self-reflection moment with myself and understand that, situations that I'm doing, the decisions that I'm making is not going to help my life in any type of substantial way at all. We like to want to live for longevity purposes, and some situations that we make, halts that. You're making wrong decisions, you're being very impulsive, like I said again, not taking accountability for actions and stuff. That led me to, I need a switch of faith. And not only that, throughout all the adversities I've been through in my life, I've always felt and known that, God was always there, saving me. Because outcomes could have been worse for some of the situations that I've been through. And it happened to be where it was an outcome to where I'm still here. And that's why I gave my full obedience to Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit and the Father God, November 17th, 2024.
That's good to hear, man. It's positive to hear, young men, young black men giving themselves to God, man. And I just want to say that I personally appreciate that, because I think in this crazy world, man, we need more people like that. So with that being said, head to the military.
Yeah.
3 days from now. What was the motivation behind that?
I needed redirection and structure again. Structure and pay for school.
It got benefits too.
Benefits to it though, but so I switched my MLS from support MLS to infantry MLS. So my MLS is 11 Bravo, which is infantry, and I just needed a structure, redirection of structure. The discipline is there, but it's the structure. Like sometimes I just fumble, as far as in being coordinated. I just needed a redirection structure pretty much. So that's pretty that. And then I want to be in the best shape of my life.
Right. No, for you, man, I respect that, man. It takes a big person to really go like, damn, I got to do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then force yourself to do it. Because I'm still on that journey myself to where, like, and we were talking about it before, man. I quit my second job, and I said I'm going to focus on myself. Right. I'm going to focus on my health. I'm going to focus on building my brand up. Had to burp. I'm going to focus on building my businesses, you know what I'm saying? And I want to look in the mirror and be like, man,
right.
I'm not at that point yet, but I feel like even me being here right now with you is definitely me taking that step in the right direction. But I feel you as far as like sometimes you have to put yourself in situations that forces you to grow.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's these YouTubers that I'll be watching, RDC World One. They be making them like
yeah, I ain't talking about.
I watched the interview where he said him and his friends moved into a house that they couldn't afford. You know what I'm saying? And they had to bust their ass in order to afford that next month. But they understood, like, bro, we got to put ourselves in this situation in order to make us grind harder. You know what I'm saying? So you putting yourself in that situation outside of the benefits and you knowing, like, hey, man, this is what I need to be a better person, or what I perceive myself to be, to be a better person. That's powerful, man, because there's not a lot of people in this world that are going to make themselves uncomfortable in order for them to become the person that they need to become.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got my full respect for that shit, bro.
It's a verse in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 30. It says, sometimes a painful experience makes us change our ways. That's the Bible verse that I utilized for my testimony when I got baptized. And one of my favorite Bible verses because of the fact that, like you just elaborated, like sometimes you have to go into the storm and relive certain things so you can change your ways and change who you are and who you're becoming to be when you see yourself going down that dark path in that wrong direction. And that's, coming from, struggle, coming from the hood, coming from East 55th on Broadway, Cable, if you know where that's at, Cleveland. I saw a lot of stuff. I'm desensitized to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind plays a part in that type of stuff as you grow. It might have not affected you during that moment, but later in life, it starts to eat you up because you ignored it and you didn't give yourself that self-closure towards certain situations.
I told my cousin this, and not to cut you off, I told my cousin, man, there's many things in my life that happened that I didn't realize was important until it was important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. Man. I grew up on 152nd. We call it the Doocy. But yeah, I say you hip. Yeah. But I grew up on 152nd, man. I seen some shit too, man. I done been followed home by gang members, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you the story. And, I know my parents, at some point, is going to watch this episode. So it was a couple things in my life that kind of had me like, all right, bro, you gotta make a shift.
Right.
But it was this one story. So I'm actually writing a song about it now. Me and my homie was walking home from school, and we thought we saw some of our niggas at the gas station.
Right.
And so when we saw these particular niggas, we would do this. So we would throw up a middle finger. It wasn't them. It was the 5-6 bricks.
Man, what?
They followed us over the bridge. It was like 8 of them, bro. It was like 2 of us. So we walking home, but we literally talking to each other like, hey, bro, what we gonna do? We can't run. Nigga, it's 8 of them. He knew I could fight. I knew he could fight. I'm like, bro, it's 8 of them.
8 dudes, though?
8 of them.
That's
bro.
crazy work.
And we walking over, you know that big old bridge on the Doocy, bro? Mm-hmm. We walking over there, bitch, we like, fuck. We gonna have to fight these niggas, because I can't let them know where I live, and you can't let them know where you live.
Right.
So we got to turn around, we gonna fight them. We both dropped our shit. We like, what's up? One dude started spazzing. Y'all can't be doing this type of shit. Y'all know, y'all blah, let's get better, blah. I'm like, look, I'm gonna be a bean with y'all. We thought y'all was our homies. I said, but we gotta get down. One dude was like, man, yeah, they cool. Cause we used to go to Gin, right? So we had the shirt.
Oh yeah, you had the shirt and tie and suit on.
Yeah, they cool. I think he was impressed with the fact that, one, we stood up to 8 niggas,
right.
And 2, with the fact that they could probably tell, like, man, they
ain't on shit for real. They chilling.
Yeah, they just trying to make it home. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, like, that was an experience for me where I'm like, bro, you gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful. And then that was also an experience for me where I'm like, I have to transcend my circumstances, bro. Right. I gotta make it out this bitch, bro.
Right.
Because if you could be followed home by 8 niggas, like, and there's no telling, bro, what could have fucking happened.
The intentions they probably had could have been worse than what they was on.
Bro, and that's the thing, bro. We had to decide not only to fight 8 people, but we was walking over the bridge. You know, it's traffic going both ways, bro. Right. Not only is we in danger because we finna get jumped, we in danger by traffic alone, bro. We gotta get up out of here. I gotta get up out of here, bro. That's another reason why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Trying to create something for myself. So I also understand what you're saying when you like, there's moments in your life where you like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. That's just one of them that I've experienced myself. You feel me? So we talk about your faith and everything like that. You say you volunteer in the church, so explain that a little bit.
Oh yeah, so I volunteered with the youth group at Grace Church and another church called the Chapel in Akron, and it's a cool experience. So I deal with the 5th graders, and then at the chapel I deal with like the 6th graders, 5th graders, 6th graders. So pretty much the same age group at both, and the reason behind that is because. So when I was younger, I used to volunteer and be a summer assistant at Rainey Institute. That's on Huff. Mm-hmm. And I used to volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club that's on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And I always just been infatuated with helping out the youth because I was once the troubled kid who, went to these youth groups and stuff to keep me out of trouble. My mom used to put me in certain things when she could. My family used to do these things. Because they realized that to keep me out of trouble was to put me into stuff to keep me out of trouble.
Facts.
And I also like, giving the youth my perspective of life. And, a lot of those youth group leaders, like that I'm a part of stuff like that because I'm grounded. I'm not sugarcoating your stuff. Obviously, you have to be professional, but I'm grounded. I was that troubled kid. Take me to the troubled kids so I can be able to talk to the troubled kids, so I can be able to, seep into their mind and give them a different perspective. Because at one time in my life, I was that way with certain things. Yeah. And as you can see, like most troubled kids and kids who get in trouble or kids who seek guidance come from rough households, come from households that aren't organized, come from rough neighborhoods. And, that's one of the reasons why I'm motivated to help both kids. And to also keep children and our youth on the right path because they are our future. They are our future.
This world is definitely turning into shit.
They are our future. And it's bad.
Disrespect. Yeah, it's no disrespect. Bad. This world is turning into shit. So I commend that off the strength of if you could play a part in any narrative change for people that are not yourself, that's a big commitment and it's a commendable one, bro. Because at the end of the day, even for me being a creative, bro, like, let's, for the sake of argument, like, or not argument, but for the sake of conversation, when I sit down and I write music, I can write about anything that most of these niggas is writing about. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's like, it's not me. And what am I? I'm not trying to influence nobody to get more bitches. I'm not trying to influence nobody to snake his homeboy or to shoot and kill nobody. But I'm trying to influence people to think about success.
Right.
So there's been multiple times, even when I sit down to write, I think about my influence that I'm trying to have. Even this podcast was based off of not just the fact that I like to have intellectual conversations with people, but it was based on the foundation of who I am as a
It's an
person.
expression of yourself.
Right, I'm a perspective based person.
You're not
like,
seeking validation, and that's what the same
I'm
thing
seeking
with me.
influence.
I
man.
don't really
Growth.
seek a lot of validation because I don't need it because I love myself. I'm content with myself. If you're content with yourself, you love yourself. You don't seek anything from anybody.
Facts.
So anything that I pretty much do is an expression of myself
Mhm.
and what I like to do.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not doing anything for anybody but myself. And to not saying that that's selfish, but giving the selfless service is helping. But at the end of the day, I'm not seeking anything behind me helping people.
Facts. And I feel that too because like when I help people out, it's never nothing like I want in
There's
return.
no secret intention
It's
behind it.
never nothing I want in return. It's just more so I feel the gratification of knowing like I made somebody day or I helped somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So like legitimately, bro, when I started dropping music, I remember a couple of songs I had dropped, and then people was hitting me in my DMs. So I got this song called "Hard to Love," and basically it was talking about the fact that sometimes you fall in love when you least expect it, and it's hard because I wasn't in the mindset or I wasn't in the space where I thought this is what I needed, but I met such an amazing person. I can't take this for granted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I dropped it, and the people who understood, people started DMing me like, "Yo, I just was in a situation like this too. Like, I had just recently got my heart broken, and I met somebody, and I didn't want to be in a relationship, but I realized they was too good of a person for me to let go." You know what I'm saying? And so, like, me hearing that alone was just like, it felt good. I dropped the song Never Again, and I appreciate it. I know you gave me some love on Never Again too. But it was a point in my life where I used to have to go up to Planet Fitness to take showers, bro. We was homeless at one point in time. And we would go up to the gym, we would exercise, and that's how we took our showers for the night. And when I say homeless, we actually had a place to stay.
Right.
But it wasn't ours. We were staying with some family members. And I remember like that feeling of, nigga, I gotta take a shower at the gym just to be clean for the next day of school, you know what I'm saying? And it was rough for me to admit it, but I'm very, like you said, I love myself. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. Really. You know what I'm saying? This is what the fuck I've been through. This is my truth. This is my story. And I've transcended so far to where I got 2 bathrooms. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's niggas out here who got 5 and 6, but like at one point in time, I didn't have nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I worked my way out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, so long story short though, when I put that song out, Never Again, and I talked about the fact that I used to have to take showers at a gym, somebody from Atlanta hit me up. I was like, bro, this was me last year. He older than me. He in the same profession. He like, bro, this was me last year. Legitimately trying to make this shit work. And now, last time I talked to this motherfucker, he recording Boosie.
Damn. No, I resonate with that Never Again song a lot because I was in a situation like that not too long ago, 2022, 2023. I was literally couch hopping 2022. And shout out to my friend Autumn. She looked out 100%. Like, I was taking a risk, like 2022. And shout out to my mentor, Daryl, for American Income Life Insurance. Like, and my homie Jordan, because this dude, like, made friends. He used to pick me up. I lost everything. I was a ceramic welder.
Mm-hmm.
Working at a company called Fosbell. Traveling, making good money. And got fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
Over the color of my skin. That's really what it's really about because I worked with one guy. He didn't like me because my first job was I traveled to Colorado. And he felt some type of way. And I know, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
When somebody tells you got amazing work ethic, you are a good worker, and they give you this explanation, giving you your, flowers, and then they don't respond to you, know what it's about. It's not nothing hard to. Literally, I didn't have a car, so I was door dashing and Ubering. I was renting cars from a place called Merritt on Parlance.
I'm good.
I was so I was cool with the manager there, and I put $500 for a car. Like, look, I'm about to borrow this. They knew what I was using it for. return the card back, they'll give me a new card. And literally, I was struggling.
Damn.
Even with my mom and them supporting stuff like that, like, you know, you got to think about yourself at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, they got their shit going on. You don't want to put yourself in a position to where you have to ask people for shit.
Right.
And I'm not that type of person. I've always been a go-getter, regardless, no matter hustle in any type of way or fashion. At 2022, 2023, that shit was horrible. And then, you know, if it wasn't for my friend Autumn getting me back on my feet and me being a, you know, a boss ass nigga, standing true to my script, working at Walmart in Parma, actually right by Fitworks. That's how I got hit to Fitworks, because I was staying over there on the Ridgeway House Apartments with my friend Autumn. And then got back on my feet, got my apartment over there in Parma, 1 bedroom. Like, you know, even though I was down, I still got myself back up. Even with the help, I still got myself back up. There was no handouts behind that. I mean, when you are a righteous nigga, a good dude, people are going to be there for you and they're going to help you.
No, that's facts, man. And I can resonate with that too, because I ain't going to sit up there and even cap to say, like, people ain't been there for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like that in the sense of I prefer for me to figure it out.
Right.
That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'd rather be the one to give than to be the one saying thanks.
It's
Shout
like
out to Big Sean, but
iron sharpens iron, though. Like, why I'm helping them out. Why they helping me out?
facts. You know, and you always return the energy.
Yeah.
That's a song by Devon, Merritt. But you always return the energy and stuff like that. But if it come down to it, man, I know you just like me, bro. You probably would rather want to help people. But like you said, I know my intentions with shit. I know the type of person I am. That's the reason why I love myself, man. And I know at the end of the day, I never question why people help me out.
Right.
I just understand that when they do, it's a blessing because they don't have to.
Then it's hard sometimes. Like, that's where the stubborn mindset comes in. Like, it was hard to even fathom receiving that help.
We still is for me.
And I still think about it at the end of the day, but then at the end of the day, I played my part. I did what I had to do. It was just a season of life, and I played my season accordingly. I handled what I had to do. I worked. I paid rent, helped split out on the rent. I helped out with food. I did, you know, what I needed to do, extra, you know. Hey, I need something. Hey, y'all need me to wash y'all clothes real quick, and while I wash my clothes, yeah, like, you know, I did the extra, going to laundry match and shit. Like, you know, hey, can you come with me real quick to the store? Like, you know, without any doubt, 100% me and a solid nigga. Yeah, I want to do what I need to do, but I still reflect on that, and I'm like, damn, that was a crazy era.
So let me run something by you and get your perspective on this. For me, I always told myself when I finished or when I got to that, I guess precipice is the right word. That's when I can look back on certain seasons of my life and be like, this shit was worth it. Hearing you saying that you get out of a season and then understand the season is fucking powerful. So let me get your perspective on that. How is it that you can transcend the season and in the following season you understand, hey, I went through that for a reason.
Because of what's put in front of you. You know, it's like this. You got an old car, your first car. You had it for so long, it starts to break down. And you had it for its purpose. And you're at a point with this car that you know that you need a new car. And if I get this new car, it's going to be beneficial towards my budget and my income. And you get the new car and you trade the new car in. You look back at that new car and be like, you know, I'm going to miss you, bruh. It was a good run with you, man. But you did everything that you needed to do for me, taking me A to B to work so I can upgrade to this new car. That's how it is with seasons. Because it's like this.
Damn.
For certain things, you can't go back and redo. Some things is just meant to be how it was. You can't go back and redo stuff. It's like you trying to go back to an ex that y'all wasn't.
She already proved you. She don't fuck with you like that.
And you already proved that y'all not compatible with each other. Because it's still both sides. Either way it go. At one point, she felt like y'all was compatible, and y'all weren't compatible throughout the duration of your relationship, and that's why things probably broke off how the way it is. How they broke off depends on the person, but at the end of the day, it still broke off, and it was meant to break off. That's how it is with seasons. When you look back at a season and self-reflect, that's why you need to document yourself. I always stress to people, we have phones. I record a lot.
Facts.
Just because it's not for in Instagram or social media. it's because I like to document myself.
That's your story.
I feel like documenting myself is way better than writing stuff down because you can actually see your body language, what you looked like, what you was wearing, what your hair looked like, what your face looked like, how fat you was, how cut up you was. See, that's why I document all the time with anything I do in life as far as in a transition into a season, because I go back sometimes and look at myself and be like, damn, I'm doing way better than I was back then. Shit. I'm doing way better than I was in 2019.
You giving some game out today. He ain't come to play.
No, I mean, seasons are fun though. Like I look back at 2023 and 22 and realize like how shit was moving so smoothly. Like even though things wasn't how it was supposed to be in my life at the time, but I can't even say that. Maybe that was supposed to happen for me to be who I am now, and that was supposed to happen. Because now I am where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go through a humble season to be able to understand how grateful you need to be for where you're at in your life. Because sometimes you can be very entitled. Even coming from the trend, even coming from struggle and shit, some of us have that entitled mindset that we deserve something and we ain't never worked for that shit.
I agree wholeheartedly. But the reason why I agree is because I'm the nigga on the opposite end. Sometimes I'm like, I don't deserve this shit.
That is true. Sometimes you do self-doubt yourself a lot, but at the end of the day, you know, you subconsciously know you deserve that shit. I feel like sometimes you just force your mind to think that because you're not worthy of what you have at hand. Because I'm not gonna say you're not ready for it, but it's like, wow. I feel like it's more so like a shocker, but you're like, wow. Damn, I got this, but damn, do I need this right now? Do I deserve this right now? Type of situation.
You're right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
But I mean, for you, I feel like it's that too, because the reason why I say it in that fashion is because I'm that same way sometimes too. But at the end of the day, I start to understand, like, you know what? I have to accept this, and this is my journey right now, and this is what I need this right now.
You know what I think it is, bro? And this is me being completely honest. Mm-hmm. When I get to a different level in my life, where I just transcend a season, and I take on new things that come with higher expectations, whether that be a higher payment, whether that be more maintenance, whether that be this, in order for me to keep this up, it's going to require more maintenance, it's going to require more attention.
Right.
I go, am I ready for this? Because there's other areas in my life where I'm like, fuck, I haven't even did that yet. I haven't even did this yet. I'm not where I want to be here yet. So when there's an area where I transcend a season, there's other season in my life that I think, I ain't even gonna say subconsciously, I like paying attention to. I'm like, yo, this shit working over here, but this shit ain't working over here. You know what I'm saying?
So remember what I said about sometimes you can't go back into a season?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that when you transition to a new season. Sometimes you have to sabotage. It's like sabotaging some captains back in the day, pirate captains used to sabotage boats so their soldiers can work harder to get to the new boat. So they know they don't have anywhere to go back to.
Oh my God.
So sometimes, like I said, with certain seasons, you have to sabotage that and understand and accept, like, you have to, it's like a summary, you know? When you read chapter 1 of the book, it has a summary. Some books have the summary, right? And you put chapter 1 was good as hell. Damn, or instead of chapters in the book, let's do like TV show seasons. Mm-hmm. Damn, you know, you get to season 2, they do the whole summary of season 1 real quick, boom, snap. And you see, you know, highlights of that season. You know, like Instagram, they do that month recap, you know, and highlights of your month. And, you know, you got to sometimes like, you know, okay, yeah, woo, did all this. I might have not did this, but maybe it's a higher calling for that specific thing that I did not do that's going to be in place into this new transitioning season I'm walking into.
Oh, God.
That has happened to me multiple times where I overanalyze my season and do an overanalyzation of a summary of the season that I just transitioned away from. And I realized that, wow, what I did not complete in that season, I'm literally completing right now in this season, but not realizing that I'm completing it because I'm not completing it in the way that I thought I was going to complete it last season. So sometimes,
Hey man, you giving the game all today.
sometimes it's just over. It's just like don't. Sometimes and as humans, we critique ourselves because we're our own worst critic. It's just overthinking. It ends with overthinking.
Yeah.
Overthinking is something that a lot of us go through.
Yeah, man. Cause like it go back to what you say when you the type of person like we are. If you, I said this a long time ago. If you don't earn it, you don't deserve it. And so sometimes I think if you don't earn it, you don't deserve it mindset transition into other seasons that I'm transcending, if that makes sense. So there's a season in my life where I'm transcending this particular circumstances. I'm going to focus on the seasons that I have not transcended or I have not feel like I put the work in to deserve some type of transcendence and say, hey man, this equates. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm honestly working on.
You gotta remember, sometimes as humans we lean on understandings. And for some people, truth is really in a matter of perception. Truth is really in a matter of perception.
Mm-hmm.
While there is a fine line between right and wrong, and truth and real, truth is still in a matter of perception. For the simple fact that like your good might not be my good, my bad might be your good. You know what I'm saying?
I always said that, and that's something I definitely had to understand. It like personal truth was real to you and what's real to the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, and why I said it is because you elaborated on, like, if you don't earn it, you don't deserve it type of thing. And you got to realize, like, what God is giving you at the end of the day and the gifts that He's giving you for your personal growth. While you personally might not think that you deserve it, God is giving you this opportunity to flourish into this new season with the gifts that He's giving you and the opportunities that He's giving you.
So with that being okay.
And that's something that a lot of people don't think about because, like I said, sometimes we tend to lean on our own understanding because us as a human species, we can sometimes be stubborn in our mind.
Right. So I will say this. I do believe that I'm very stubborn. Don't know if it's a good or a bad thing.
It can be a good thing. It's subjective.
So then if that's the case, I will say it's both. Because I think it has blinded me to being able to understand that particular seasons in my life differ from other areas in my life where the season has not moved on from what it used to be. In my mind, I've always felt like things had to gradually grow together.
That is true. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and I think I embedded. I think I got stuck on that way of thinking and kind of applied it to all areas of my life.
It's like this. Like some friendships aren't really longevity friendships, and that's
a whole nother thing.
That's a seasonal thing, though.
Man.
Some people are in your life for seasons, bad and good.
Facts, and I would internalize that because, like, for the sake of conversation, man, I've had friends who I thought I would never stop talking to.
Right.
And then when they stopped talking to me, I was like, I'm not gonna fight it because I just feel as though I'm not supposed to fight this. To be a being with you, bro, just off the transparency. I got friends who I think about on a daily. No, I don't see myself being cool with them.
And that's just a transition of your life.
Yeah.
Like, if they still doing the same stuff, if they still broke, they still stealing. That's what they say. Don't hang around motherfuckers who still stealing. Like, still stealing. Not stealing. The word steal, I'm talking about STILL. They still stealing.
Facts.
They still stealing. I'm still trying to figure this out. Still
I'm keeping some shit, and I'm not going to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep shit above ears, but I know just because we connect on the intellectual level, you're going to peep what I'm saying. I have started to become hip of many people that I'm around behavior and the fact that people think they can get over on me.
Right.
And there was many times in my life because I understood, oh, shit, it's coming for us. There's many times in my life where I understood a season that somebody was in where I'm like, I'm going to accept it because I understand your season.
Right.
And then it circles back to the fact that I'd rather give than, just say thanks. So I'm like, you know what? The way I'm seeing it now is like, I'd rather give than say thanks. I understand the season I'm in compared to the season that you in. So it was a lot of behaviors from people that I'm like, all right, nigga. I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You think I don't know, but I do know type shit,
And it's going to be obvious when you transition to a new season. Some shit is going to be so obvious, and it's going to be hard sometimes. That's why I said sometimes you have to start abandoning the ship. You have to take that sacrifice. And sometimes certain people, it's going to be hard. But at the end of the day, you got to think about reaching to the top. Your circle is the strongest foundation of your whole journey, your support system.
Facts, and it's getting smaller.
And if you got a Judas in your group,
I definitely think I do.
You got a Judas in your group, you're fucked.
Facts. And you know what's crazy? This isn't even saying that. I definitely think I got a Judas.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting on the concrete proof. But
man,
I think I got a Judas for sure.
You just gotta tally up the signs. Yeah. Each sign that you see, you know, I'm starting to be really more like articulate with shit, like really on point with shit. Like I start peeping when people say nowadays. That's how crazy my faith is. When a motherfucker starts saying shit like, "What's up, big money?" or like, if you're not my boy though, like you my boy, like mine, like, oh yeah, okay, nigga, I see you getting big and shit, like whoop-de-whoop, cool. But if it's like, it depends on the person. Like, but it depends on how you saying it. Like, I peep how people say shit and how they perceive themselves around me and shit like that. And once you start talking subliminal and saying little subliminal messages behind what you say, in the words you say have power. You can say some shit that you might think funny, and why you say that shit? Like, you look like, why you just say that?
I'm gonna do you another one. And I'm pretty sure you did because you're 100% the person. There's even keywords in small phrases that I'm starting to pay attention to.
Yes.
So let's just say for the sake of argument like this, I'm like, yeah. Let's say we go through something, right? And I'm trying to tell you my perception on whatever the fuck we just went through together.
Right.
I'm starting to peep people who go like this. Okay. Also, but what about this? As opposed to, nah, it's not about that. It's about this.
It's the principle of the situation. And I do a thing that's called debriefing with certain people, like my close friends. Like I debrief with them. You know, I make a summary of our, like, you know how you think we, you know, how you been, how you doing, type shit. You know, I do it with you. Right. When we see each other though, I do it with you because I ain't gonna lie, you a shitty texter, right?
Everybody says that.
You busy though. That's besides the point.
No, like legitimately, and this. He's right. My girlfriend legitimately sends me TikToks to my phone, and if it's on TikTok, I won't respond.
I feel like I'm a better in-person person. You know, I can be a shitty person too on texting. It's just I don't like texting at all. I hate that shit, and I don't like FaceTiming. Because most motherfuckers don't FaceTime. That's besides the point. So like when we meet in person, every time we meet, just like the last time we debriefed, and you know you went through your situation and stuff, and you know we went outside and we talked and stuff. We had a intellectual, in-depth conversation. We had a debriefment, and I had to reevaluate to you like, hey, bro, like don't overthink it, bro. You really doing good right now for the situation that happened. Mm-hmm. And I do that with all my friends. And when my friend, like when people that I know start saying shit weird or differently around me and stuff like that, I start to peep shit and I'm like, okay, what's really going on? What's happening? Because now you being different now, and I'm peeping that shit.
I'm starting to get to the point where I can peep game from a mile.
No, for real though, it's so crazy, and that's why I'm saying, like, see, when you switch seasons and shit, some people not like how on TV shows, some people gonna die season 2, and they gonna be in season 3. Some people gonna die. Squid Games is a pretty good example. Them niggas was dying. Right. They was getting killed. Your favorite, I didn't want him to die. But then you realize he was doing some shady shit behind his scenes and his character needed to die. He be like, damn, fuck that nigga, man. He was doing all that crazy shit this whole time. But we ain't know that shit. Yeah. Perspective changes and shit.
I'm the same way, bro. It's been times where, like, legitimately, I go to my girl and be like, yo, how this sound to you? She be like, I'm like, okay, we gonna keep it documented for now. And then when we just ain't gonna, we gonna keep that. No, but it's been times I'm like, we gonna document this though.
No, you have to document. Like, bro, it can be. I learned my hardest lesson this recently. Like, no matter how long you know a motherfucker, that mean they fuck with you, bro. Man, I didn't get into a situation this recently. January, I knew this person for 13 years.
Let me stop you real quick. This is on camera.
No, this cool.
I'm not finna be.
No, this cool. I thought this was my friend. Like, I know this person for 13 years.
Keep that too, by the way.
13 years, man. And literally, like, they put me in a situation that really, like, locked me in crazy. Like, man, I'm so locked in now after that situation. It's like, Wow.
Mm.
Wow. It's like, wow. It's like, damn. That Instagram post, don't matter how long you know a motherfucker, don't mean that they won't snake you out type shit. Wow. And it was not it wasn't, it didn't even need to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you my homie or my, my homegirl or whatever, you want to put me in a situation to where I am in trouble or something like that, or finna get in some type of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
But I should have saw the red flag, and that's why I said, like, now I've been really peeping what people say.
I think you gotta be like that, bro. I think you gotta be like that because at the end of the day, man, like I'm realizing myself, and I actually got a group chat with a couple of my homies, and I ain't gonna say no names. But one of my homies ended up, you know what I'm saying, getting real drunk the other night, and he tweaked out a little bit, and he apologized for that in the group chat. But because we know he's not a bad person, ain't nobody trip over
him. He took accountability, right?
He took accountability, and everybody's like, bro, be you. Because we understood that even when he was drunk, he tweaked. It wasn't nothing Judas-like.
Right, it wasn't nothing
You just got drunk, nigga.
That's different.
You tweaked out.
That's different. But if it's like...
I've done it.
If it's like, I always hated you, nigga, fuck, cause drunk thoughts are just sober thoughts that's enhanced. Yeah. So if it's like, Von always hated you in your relationship with your girl, I hate that you grab, I hate that you dress good, all this secret shit, like, oh, I hate your friend group, I hate that y'all lift weight, like, if niggas saying shit like that, now I'm drunk or not, what you trying to say, bro? Where is this coming from? Yeah. Where is this coming from, bro? Yeah. Why are you saying the specifics? Yeah. It's like you got pinpoints of certain shit that you want to say about me while you're drunk, and using the ability to be drunk as your excuse to say it is no, fuck that shit, bro. Because now I need to talk to my nigga. Because now subconsciously you have these because when you're drunk, you're blacked out. Your subconscious mind is in control. Your subconscious mind uploads everything that you tell yourself and that you think about. When your subconscious mind is not running.
Facts.
So you're subconsciously thinking about this shit on a daily basis. And keep in mind, your subconscious mind is always running. Right. So you're thinking about the shit that you say when you're drunk on a daily basis. It's nothing new. It's spontaneous. So if motherfucker have...
Notice we drinking while we talking too.
No. But look, I'm still the same when I'm drunk. I'm still consciously aware.
Hey, I will give you credit for that.
My body, you know I am when I'm drunk. My body go away. I be... But I'm still that nigga. I'm still myself, bro. I might want to dance a little bit and get lit, but I ain't no fucking fuck everybody. Yeah. I'm gonna kill everybody. I be trying to chill. My body go limp and I be slumped, and then I'm gonna be like.
When I get drunk, I feel attractive.
I know. I feel like I'm that nigga when I'm drunk. Pop the shirt off type shit. Yeah. Let's go to the crib.
My girl, like she don't see me yet.
No. But like I'm talking about, like if you can't like. Man, it's just like I said, to keep from that situation, this conversation we was having at hand, like seasons, like you'll know when like the seasons switch. You'll know. It can be the slightest thing, like what the fuck?
Could there be a big with you, bro? Not to cut you off. I think I'm in a transition right now.
You are in a transition right now, and you know why you're in a transition because of the recent situation that you just went through and stuff like that. In the last conversation we had. You seem your energy seemed to be a little bit more like, going back to how it was before. Mm-hmm. But like that situation, and you said that earlier, you elaborated earlier, like that situation, like, remember them seasons you went through with them relationships and shit to the situation that happened to you just recently and how those made you stronger? This situation made you even 10 times stronger. And it really showed that you are a man. You are a real man who's disciplined. Because you could have crashed the fuck out. Like I told you when we was
I was very close.
You could have fucking crashed the fuck out.
I was very close.
You could have just did the most craziest. I told you some niggas would kill people because of shit like that.
And I'm gonna be a being with you. And here's how I know my girlfriend is the one. I was about to.
Yeah.
She all she had to do was touch me, and I calmed the fuck down. I was in the midst of a crash. How she said stop.
And it would have been reasonable.
Yeah, and I stopped. And I looked at her face. I looked her in the eyes. And I was like, right. So now I gotta be there for you. Because she don't even understand what she did for me just saying stop.
It's powerful.
Fact.
It's powerful.
People like her, man. She just
when you like at a vulnerable state and
she's rare, man.
Somebody's there that's genuine,
She rare. She don't understand how rare she is, but I was in the midst of. And we ain't gonna talk about it now because that's for another episode.
But you was about to fucking crash out. Like, I'm talking about self-destruct on like the biggest level, bro. And like, you know, like I said, like you stayed true to your script and stayed true to yourself and understood you accepted. I can say this about you in that situation if you don't mind me talking about it still. I
just say keep it above.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm being cordial with it, but you understood the ramifications of your situation. You understood, keyword, understood the ramifications of your situation very quickly. But what was drawn out was you accepting it.
I still have it. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that's drawn out. Like you accepting it is drawn out.
Yeah, I have it.
But you understand and understood the ramifications of how significant that situation was and how that could have really ruined your life and stuff like that. And your relationships around you and everything. But like I said, that really made you into the man you are. And really, even though you have those dark times, that dark times still have, there's a light shining on you still while you're in dark times. And you understood, like, you climbed from that dark and went to the light. If you understand what I'm saying.
So we're going to wrap this up, but I got 2 questions for you. Speaking of the light shining on you in dark times. So we talk about faith. We talk about the light shining on you in dark times. And I even know you. I pay attention, bro. Like, you should have my shitty texting, which is very factual.
I think you're very observant.
Yeah. So you're very deep in your faith with God. You got baptized recently. You just spit some Bible verses at me that were very prevalent in my life. So I want to say this, man. I got a lot of atheists around me.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say no names.
Okay.
What are your views on atheism, or people who don't believe in God? Because stuff that I experienced was, again, we're not gonna talk about until I'm ready. But what I experienced, stuff like that causes people to not believe in God. Crime, innocent people dying. The president. Shit that's going on in the real world that causes life to be hard. Through the midst of all of that, you keep your faith, and I see you do. But for the people who see that type of shit and go, I can't believe in God, if the world is like this, what do you say? What is your perspective?
Like atheist people?
Yeah.
Matthew 7 tells us not to judge anybody. I don't judge anybody for what they believe in.
Fair.
Now, I've had bad church experience.
You too?
And religious experience with like Christian people. And some Christian people can be hypocrites and judge people and, just lie. Mm-hmm. That's lying is a sin. But for atheist people, I don't judge them. I mean, that's what they believe in. That's what they accept their life to be. I just show them by actions of what God can do and what Jesus can do and how being obedient to Jesus and following his ways and the 12 disciples. And keep in mind, the 12 disciples were all sinners. I just follow those ways. The world is going to be the world. Unfortunately, the world is man-made. God made everything, the universe, and whatever people believe in. But the world right now is man-made. This is the devil's palace. The world is the devil's palace. This is his shit. Yeah. This is his fucking playground. That's why we're born into sin. And that's why it's so hard for man to overcome lust and the temptation, and music is horrible, and all this horrible shit's happening. It's the devil's playground. But you gotta look at those people like in Palestine and Gaza and stuff like that, praying to God and stuff while they're going through a whole war. Those people in Ukraine going through a whole war and stuff. Both sides, Russian and Ukrainian, praying to their God and stuff like that. You gotta think about how in Afghanistan, Iraq, man and infantry soldiers getting killed, and they're still staying true to their faith and stuff like that. You gotta understand like how powerful that shit is, and how everybody goes through their own spiritual awakening in their own ways. And being an atheist is really pretty much leaning onto your own understanding. Mm-hmm. That's what atheist is. Because even I read the Satanist book, the Satan book or whatever you want to call it. That book talks about God, literally.
So I will say this, as somebody who is surrounded by atheists, that is powerful. Because a lot of times people be so caught up in their religion to where they don't try to understand the other side.
Yeah. I can call my brother. My brother used to be an atheist. He just converted. He's about to get baptized actually next month. And he realized perfect time for his convert. We have a thing called young adults where it's like a group Bible therapy, whatever. And he was like, I was living mask to mask. You know, he come from the churches too. He really from me. He from Kansas, man. Like he from houses with holes on the roof and stuff type shit. Like he was like, I had to live mask to mask. Every time I had to go somewhere new, I had to put on a new mask. Now I'm trying to live my life without that mask on. And I'm trying to stop living from my own understanding. Yeah. And I'm finding a new faith through God. And I'm starting to see that this is the way for me. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not living on a one-track minded. I'm starting to become open-minded on things spiritually. Mm-hmm. And he's changing his whole life around. His people, he's become to be a little bit more happier, a little bit more expressive. We're talking about a savage. Yeah. He's become to be a little bit more expressive and understanding that you can't do this shit alone. And that's why I say again, Matthew 7 tells us not to judge. I don't judge anybody who isn't, a believer of God, Jesus Christ. And I myself, I'm a non-denominational Christian.
Me too.
I believe in just Jesus Christ and the advice of Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit and Father God. Because I believe what's said on the Bible. I don't believe what people are telling me. Mm-hmm. Who are you to tell me something that's not said in the Bible? You get what I'm saying? Until the community changes is when... And the reason why I'm not a denominational because I have had bad relationship with Christians, like strong founding Christians. Mm-hmm. I am myself, like I say, a non-denominational Christian. I just believe what's in the Bible because I've had experiences to where I went to churches and the pastor was a pedophile. My first time getting baptized at 12 years old, the pastor ended up being was sexually assaulting his adopted daughter and was sexually assaulting her and was a pedophile. So this is why I'm the way I am now. And that's why I got rebaptized. And this time it was different because it was me doing it. Yeah. I know the significance of it now. But for atheists and people who don't believe in God, I can say for the people who do believe in God, you need to understand that it's not just a Sunday church. It's not just a Bible hearing and not just a Bible study. It is a lifestyle. And you have to live by the lifestyle and understand that the best policy is being honest and righteous. And not being a person who serves two masters. You have to. So for atheist people, I feel like, like I say again, it's going to come a time to where they have their spiritual awakening. And they're going to change, Mm-hmm. But the ones who want to be atheists their whole life, let them be atheists their whole life. Don't hound them on it. Don't judge them for it because that's not being a godly man and a godly woman.
See, and that's one thing I want to commend you too about because like a lot of people will highlight through their actions and their words one part of the Bible and completely neglect another
everything.
Part of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So for me, and it's not even nothing about the Bible because I haven't even read the whole Bible. I started to and I stopped.
I haven't either.
When it comes to atheism, man, there's a part of me that's like, I get it.
I get it too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand the perspective.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, that's why I don't, like I say again, Matthew 7 tells us not to judge. Yeah. I don't judge anybody, like gay people. Like, I'm not homophobic. I'm not none of that. I don't care what people do.
A few friends that are like probably my closest friends that are gay. And I'm like,
I'm not racist. I'm not racist or none of that. But what I am prejudiced. And what I'm prejudiced towards is energy. If you a weird ass motherfucker, you a weird ass motherfucker, bro. I don't care what skin color you is. I don't care what denomination you are, what groups you a part of. If you a weirdo ass nigga, your energy gotta be so fucking weird, bro. I'm talking about, oh yeah, I like to touch kids type shit. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm prejudiced in the energy. Yeah. And that's because I don't see people as color. Yeah. I don't. We're all humans at the end of the motherfucking day. We have different blood types. We all bleed red. Unless your ass a reptilian or some shit, some motherfucker who bleed green or some shit. Okay. You different, nigga. Purple ass nigga. Okay. But, like, my nigga, you might got O negative. I might got no positive shit. You know what I'm saying? Cool, but your shit's still red, right? It might be darker than mine, but it's still red. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how I viewpoint shit as far as in like outside of the faith of what I believe in.
Facts. I appreciate that perspective, man. This is a powerful episode.
You said you had one more question.
I did.
You said you had 2 questions.
I don't know, man. I ain't gonna cut with you, but I will say this. I want to say thank you for your service before you serve or after you serve, all of that in between, man. Thank you for your service. It takes a very brave man to do what you're about to do in 3 days. So thank you for your service. Thank you for coming on here and supporting what I got going on, man. Thank you for being a good human, a great man. And with that, I will say, make sure that you stream Von Merritt music. Make sure you tap in with RaZon. Give me your social.
My IG is TCG_ZON. I'm on Instagram. My Facebook is RaZonMoore. And those are the only platforms that I'm part of. So tap in with me, man. Try to get into the gym. If you're into the gym, if you're into the Lord, if you're into being positive, reforming your life, tap in with me, man. It'll help. We can talk real quick, you feel me?
Oh, God. I want to say this, too. Even though you're going to be gone for 6 months, you will be back.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You're going to be back, because outside of the fact that we doing the podcast, man, this is real life, my bro.
No, for real, though.
This is real life, my brody. So, again, man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
And this has been the Parlance Podcast.